3EV240000326, Christopher Campbell versus Brian Stone. If you're going to testify, if you'll raise your right hand and be sworn, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
I do.
All right. Go ahead, Mr. Campbell. Tell me what's going on here.
Teresa Stone, which is currently my wife, Brian's mother, we had discussed briefly. I didn't want to because of the stories I had heard before and what had happened whenever Brian had first got out of prison and came and stayed with us for a matter of a couple weeks. There was an incident where his mother threw him out of the house at that point, and he was only with us for a matter of a couple weeks. And we discussed everything, and, she thought that Mr. Stone was, going to really change. He wanted to go to school part-time. Okay, great. So I agreed and said, okay, we'll give him a chance, and I was like, but there's going to be a problem. I said, if there's a problem, I said, he's not going to want to leave or find somewhere else to go. And verbally at the end of May, his mother and I had talked with him at our old residence at the Cove, or at the Saddle Creek, I apologize. And he's like, well, he said, no, he said, if there's any problems, he said, I'll leave. He said, I don't want no problems, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And he was going to go to school part-time, work part-time and whatnot. And everything was good for a while. Don't get me wrong.
So again, this is kind of a backstory, Mr. Campbell, but can you tell what kind of relationship, what kind of landlord-tenant relationship, if any, you have with Mr. Stone right now, sir?
All I have is what I've been with him right now, where he's been living with his mother and I. We agreed to let him stay with us and give him a chance to get on his feet and do his thing and better himself. And he started going to school part-time here. And
he's been staying at your house for how long now?
It's been, I believe, a little over 8 months now, counting this month of March.
Was he? Was he paying rent or?
Yes, sir. He was paying $650 a month, and then there was $50 additional added because his mother would cook 5 meals a week, so that it would help decrease the cost of food for him, just to kind of help him out, while he's going to school.
So he's been paying you $650 a month. Is that right? Am I frozen or is everybody else frozen?
I think that Mr. Campbell might be frozen.
Okay. How can we get him? Is Mr. Stone frozen too, or can we help? He's not moving either. No, there he's moving.
There, you're back.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Campbell. So he's been paying you $650 a month?
Yes, sir. And then an extra additional $50 for meals that are provided for him 5 days a week.
And when was the last time the $650 was paid?
It was paid at the end of January. He had paid for January and February's rent, and he made no attempt for March's rent.
Okay. So he hasn't paid you for this month?
Correct.
Okay. And when was he supposed to pay? Did y'all have a written agreement, or was it a verbal agreement?
It was just all verbal. And everybody, he was told beginning of the month, each month. And there's been a couple of cases where, he didn't have the money, and he actually came to his mother and I, and was like, look, this is the deal. I won't have the money until such and such. And we're like, okay, that's fine. We'll work with that.
Okay.
And we did, and he had paid it. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
I have no qualms about that. At least he came and said something to us.
All right. So
as for the month of March,
he hasn't paid for March.
Correct.
Okay. Did you notify him that you were expecting? Did you notify him in writing that you were expecting the rent and hadn't gotten it?
No, sir. Everything was verbal between his mother and I and him.
Okay.
On March 1st, I did post the TNV or the NTV, the notice to vacate, And then I waited the 10 days that I'd put on the paper, and then I came and filed at the JP's office.
Okay. So you gave a notice to vacate? And when was that?
That was on March 1st. And I took pictures to show that it was posted on his door where I knew he would definitely be able to get it without any problems.
Where was it posted?
It was posted on his door to the room that he stays in here in our home.
Did you hand it to him personally or just?
No, sir. He wasn't here at the time that I knew of. I didn't know if he actually went to school that day or he was just in his room playing the video game or sleeping or what he was doing. So I just posted it on the door the morning of March 1st. And then I left and went to work.
You have a picture of that, sir?
Yes, sir. I took pictures of it to show that it was posted.
Did you submit those to the court? Or do you have those?
I don't have anything in the case file for it. It looks like he froze again there.
Yeah. Mr. Campbell?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have copies of that notice, sir?
Yes, sir. I have a copy of it as well. And then I have pictures of it posted on the door before I left for work that morning.
Okay. Is there any way you can show me those pictures? Do you have those on your computer?
I have them they're on the phone that I'm on currently doing this court case with you on.
Okay.
I can get the copy that I had made and show that to you. I mean, I do have that available.
If need be, I actually have the copy that he posted on the door, if that's sufficient.
Okay, you received that, Mr.
It was taped to my door on January, March 1st.
Was it in an envelope or was it just that?
It was just this taped to the door.
Okay.
And basically it just outlines, it just states March 1st, 2024, my name, Brian Stone, address rented premises, 8405 Romney Road, 78748. This is an unconditional demand for possession, undertakes yada, 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 signed Chris Campbell. Address the same, telephone, his number, affidavit inside. Notice was given on the 1st March 2024. That's the gist of it. If you need more, I'll give that to you, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir. And that was just posted like that on the door?
Yes, sir. It was taped to the door like this.
Is that right, Mr. Campbell?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Stone. And then you filed this case when, Mr.
I had waited the 10 days and then had come out to the precinct and filed it. I think it was a total of 12 days later, just because of the way I work, I wasn't able to get out there on the 11th day. So I had to go out the following day. And then I went ahead and filed the legal document through the precinct there.
Okay. So JC, can you confirm, was that filed March 12th or so?
Yes, it was filed on March 12th.
Okay. And what are you seeking in this case, Mr. Campbell? Are you seeking rent? Are you seeking the rent? You're seeking possession?
I would like to just have the possession and have him out. I mean, my wife and I, we rented this place. He's not even on the lease here. And, you know, for him to stand in our living room when we're trying to help him out. And, you know, I'd worked a 24-hour shift, come home. I didn't even shut my bike off and he's in my face screaming. And I said, we're not doing this. We come in the house. It continued for a couple hours. His mother intervened, you know, the whole 9 yards.
Okay.
Calling her names, all the disrespect, you know, whatnot. And
that's fine, Mr. Campbell. So are you still there, Mr. Stone?
I am, sir.
Okay.
And just so the court knows, I actually have documentation and I have evidence that I was never in Mr. Campbell's face. I never raised my voice to him. This didn't carry on for hours. And my mom actually assaulted me after I was threatened with terroristic threat of being punched in the face twice. And it's all on tape. I've got it all on tape. You can
I
deny it
hope
all you
so.
want to, Mr.
That's
Campbell.
fine. That's
It's all
fine.
on tape.
Okay, that's
So
fine.
now that I really truly know what this is about, because I wasn't really sure, just so you know, my rent has always been paid on time. We started this house together. I put in $1,500 to make sure that we insured getting into this place because we were having financial issues getting in here to begin with. Yes, they did help me out. I'm not denying that one bit, but this was a team effort. Okay, I might not be on the lease, but it was well established that I would live here and I would have residency in this household. I
Hold on, now,
expressed to Mr.
hold on a second. Mr. Campbell,
Yes, sir.
are y'all leasing this place?
Yes, my wife and I had signed a lease, and my wife and I are on the lease. Yes, sir. And then we agreed to let him come stay with us.
Mr. Stone, is it on the lease?
No, sir.
Do you believe you're on the lease, Mr. Stone?
I am a subleasee under the state of Texas, sir.
You're sublessee. Okay. Okay. Uh, can I see the sworn petition, JC?
Yes, sir. Let me just share my screen for you.
Okay. So you can make that a little bigger, JC? I can't. Okay. Thank you. Is there a second page?
Your Honor, I got a question. If that's a signed affidavit in writing, would that be considered lying on a court document, sir? If that was to be found untrue?
What are you saying as untrue?
It says right there on number 4,
That's
erratic confront. What does that say? Erratic confrontation and trying to provoke a fight.
okay.
Would that be lying on a court document, Your Honor? If I was to be able to show documentation, physical proof that that is untrue and that Mr. Campbell is knowingly and willingly feeding the courts falsified information?
Oh my God. Here we go.
Well, it may or may not, Mr. Stone. I can't really, there's some different things when you're filing things in court. That's, I can't really tell you. I would tell you, we don't have jurisdiction over any kind of, those kind of cases, sir.
Oh, but okay. So I was just wondering if you'd be able to inform me that if lying on a formal court document is against the law. That's the only question I was asking.
Okay.
Is that correct or not, Your Honor?
I can't really tell you about that, Mr. Stone. I mean, again, that would be legal advice.
Oh, no, I'm merely asking a question if that's true or correct. That's not legal
I
advice.
understand that, again, that's
Proceed, Your Honor. Thank you.
legal advice. So, let me take a look again. Hold on a second. Okay. So, Mr. Campbell,
Yes, sir.
it appears, sir, that you haven't strictly complied with the Texas Property Code on giving notice to Mr. Stone. If you look, the property code says that when you give a notice to vacate, you have to post it on the inside of the main door of where the person comes into the unit, or you can do it on the outside of the door if you can't, or make personal delivery. But what you're telling me, you didn't give it to him personally.
No, sir. It was posted on the main entrance to his room that he stays in, that he
Right. But it's on
rents.
they get on the outside of that door, right?
Yes, it was
in
on the
that case-
outside of your entrance door to his room. Yes, sir.
So in that case, it has to be in an envelope. Uh, in a sealed envelope that contains the notice with his name, address, and all the capital letters and the words "important document" on the. Did you mail him the notice also?
No, sir.
Yeah.
No, I had him served by the sheriff's office had served him at the front door.
That was
Once I filed it
that
through the
was with
precinct.
that was with the petition and the summons.
Correct.
Right. But the statute says the notice has to be given in a certain way, and that hasn't been done, Mr. Campbell. So I am going to have to find that because there wasn't adequate service, that the case that I have to rule in favor of Mr. Stone at this point. If you look at that's part of, and I know it's hard to do exactly, but if section 24.005 of the Texas Property Code, if you look at that, it'll tell you exactly what you need to do to give him notice. Again,
Okay.
if the rent hasn't been paid, that's a good reason someone can be evicted.
Even though he's not on a lease, though, he has a right to stay here.
Well, it sounds like from what you've said so far that you have a oral lease. You can give it, it may be if you don't have a written lease, you may have a month-to-month tenancy. To cancel a month-to-month tenancy, you have to give 30 days notice. If someone just hasn't paid the rent, you can give a 3 days notice for failing to pay the rent. But that's different. So in this case, I'm going to have to find in favor of Mr. Stone. Well, it's just, again, without hearing the rest of what's going on. If he wants to move out, he can still move out. If he doesn't want,
He's not going to move out, sir. I guarantee that.
You may have
He
to,
has squatters' rights, and that's what he goes by.
again, you may be able to get him out. You just have to strictly, in these kind of cases, you have to strictly comply with the Texas Property Code, Mr. Campbell. So you want to read that real carefully. You can contact an attorney. Again, if you want to read the property code yourself, you can do that, sir. Again, it's the Texas Property Code is what is going to govern the procedures for eviction.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, and I will let our landlord continue to deal with it because we're planning on moving out. So, and he's not going to end up wanting to leave even for him, and he's not even on a lease here. So I guess our landlord will have to get involved.
Landlord will have to do that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Good. Well, good luck, Mr. Campbell. Good luck, Mr. Stone. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You have a question, Mr. Campbell or Mr. Stone?
No, sir.
He's gone. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Good luck, sir.
I thank you.
Sir, thank you. Bye-bye. Okay.